The text came while I was in the middle of a presentation to 20 Japanese executives in Tokyo. My phone, supposedly on silent, lit up with Marcus's message. Pack your things when you get back. We're done. Brittany is moving in. Be civilized about this. I stared at the screen for exactly 3 seconds, then calmly finished my presentation on maritime shipping routes. Afterward, my colleague Janet noticed my expression. Everything okay, Diane? Marcus is moving his mistress into our house, I said, matter-of-factly packing my laptop. Her jaw dropped. What? Are you serious? Apparently. I showed her the text. Meet Brittany. She's 23, does Pilates, and thinks cryptocurrency is totally the future. They met at his gym. Oh my God, what are you going to do? I smiled, the kind of smile that made Janet take a step back. I'm going to text him back. My response was short. Sure, enjoy the house. I'll get my things when I'm back. No drama, promise. Marcus replied immediately. Really? That's it? Thank you for being mature about this. He bought it, I told Janet. He actually thinks I'm rolling over. But the house? While I was on a business trip, my husband moved his mistress into our $2 million house. He texted, pack your things, we're done. I replied, sure, enjoy the house. He didn't know that the house was. I let the sentence hang, savoring the moment. Was what? Janet grabbed my arm. Diane, what about the house? Oh, just a tiny detail Marcus forgot. The house he's so generously letting his girlfriend move into? It's been mine since before we got married. Inherited from my grandmother. He's never paid a dime toward it, and his name isn't on a single document. Janet's eyes widened. He doesn't know? Why would he? Marcus never cared about boring paperwork. He just assumed that being married meant everything was automatically his. I pulled up my banking app. He also doesn't know I froze our joint accounts an hour ago and moved everything to my personal account. Legally, of course, I have documentation of every deposit source. This is going to be epic. Oh, honey, you have no idea. The flight from Tokyo to San Francisco gave me 16 hours to plan. By the time I landed, everything was in motion. My lawyer, Sandra, met me at the airport with a gleeful expression. I've filed the eviction notice, she said, handing me the papers. They have 72 hours to vacate. I've also frozen all credit cards in your name that he has access to, canceled his car lease, which, reminder, is in your name, and forwarded copies of his text messages to opposing counsel for our fault-based divorce filing. What about Brittany? Oh, this is the best part. Brittany Hutchins has an active warrant for check fraud in Nevada. Apparently, your husband's new love has a history of targeting married men with money. I laughed so hard that other travelers stared. He left me for a con artist? A not very good con artist. She's been posting photos from your house on Instagram, including one where she's wearing your jewelry. That's theft, by the way. Add it to the charges. I scrolled through Brittany's Instagram. There she was in my kitchen wearing my grandmother's pearls, captioned, living my best life in MY New Palace. Crown #blessed #luxury life #new beginnings. She's really not bright, Sandra observed. Neither is Marcus. When should we serve them? How about now? I have a process server waiting outside your house. The drive to Marin County had never felt longer. As we pulled up to my grandmother's Victorian painted lady for bedrooms worth $2.3 million in today's market, I saw Marcus's BMW in the driveway. Next to it, a pink Volkswagen Beetle with fuzzy dice. Classy. Ready? Sandra asked. Born ready. We didn't go to the door. Instead, we sat in Sandra's car and watched the process server knock. Marcus answered in his robe. My robe, actually, the Turkish cotton one I'd bought in Istanbul. His face went from annoyed to confused to stark white as he read the papers. We could hear his shout from inside the car. What do you mean, eviction? Brittany appeared behind him in one of my silk nightgowns, and I had to admit, she was exactly Marcus's type. Blonde, young, and dim enough to think he was a catch. My phone exploded with calls. I ignored them all, instead posting a single message to Facebook. Quick relationship update. Marcus decided to move his girlfriend into my grandmother's house while I was traveling for work. Unfortunately for him, he forgot it's my house. Smiling face with smiling eyes also, Brittany, sweetie, those pearls you're wearing? They're evidence now. Within minutes, the post had dozens of comments and shares. Marcus's mother called, but I sent her to voicemail. She'd always thought her precious son could do no wrong. This would be educational for her. Let's go, I told Sandra. I have a hotel reservation. Let them stew for the full 72 hours. Those 3 days were delicious. Marcus called 847 times. Yes, I counted. His texts evolved from angry to pleading to desperate. This is illegal. You can't evict me from my own home. Be reasonable. Where are we supposed to go? I made a mistake. Can we talk? Brittany means nothing. It was a midlife crisis. Please answer me. I'll do anything. Diane, please. Meanwhile, Brittany's Instagram documented their rapid descent into chaos. The lights went out. I'd canceled the utilities. The car was repossessed, Marcus standing in the driveway in his boxers, arguing with the tow truck driver. The credit cards were declined at a fancy restaurant. A follower sent me the video of Marcus's face when the waiter cut up his card. But the real fun came on eviction day. I arrived with Sandra, a locksmith, and 2 police officers, just in case. Marcus answered the door looking haggard, unshaven, and utterly defeated. Diane, please. Let's be adults about this. I am being an adult who owns this house and wants you out of it. It's our house. No, Marcus. It's my house. Has been since 2015 when Grandma Rose died. You remember the funeral? The one you skipped for a golf weekend. But we're married. Sanders stepped forward. California is a community property state, Mr. Thompson, but inherited property remains separate unless commingled. Your wife never added your name to the deed, never used marital funds for upkeep, and has meticulous records showing all payments came from her inheritance account. You have no claim to this property. Brittany appeared, dragging a leopard print suitcase. This is ridiculous. Marcus, you said you own this house. You said you were rich. I am rich, Marcus protested. I make good money. You make $65,000 a year as a middle manager at a tech startup, I corrected. I make $400,000 as a shipping logistics director. Who did you think was paying for your BMW? Your golf membership? Your entire lifestyle? Brittany's face went through several expressions before settling on rage. You lied to me. Join the club, I said. He lied to me for 8 years. I want my money back, she screeched at Marcus. You said you were getting millions in the divorce. What money? I asked, genuinely curious. The $30,000 I invested in his startup idea. I burst out laughing. Oh my God. Marcus, you took money from your mistress? For what? Your revolutionary app idea. The one that's Uber but for dogs. It's a legitimate business concept, he protested. It's been done. 5 times. They all failed. I turned to Brittany. Honey, that money's gone. But here's some free advice. Maybe Google your married boyfriends before you invest in their dreams. This isn't over. Brittany stormed toward her Beetle, then stopped. Where's my car? Also repossessed, I said helpfully. Turns out when you skip out on your Nevada debts and flee to California, creditors get creative. They've been looking for you, by the way. I might have given them this address. Her screech could have shattered glass. You called my creditors? Oh no, that was my forensic accountant. She's very thorough. A black sedan pulled up, and 2 serious-looking people got out. Brittany Hutchins? We're from Associated Credit Recovery. We have a judgment to discuss. Brittany ran. Actually ran, in her Louboutin knockoffs, down my grandmother's tree-lined street. The debt collectors sighed and followed at a walk. Marcus watched his mistress flee with his mouth hanging open. Get out, I said quietly. Now, where am I supposed to go? That's no longer my problem. Your mother? A friend? Maybe see if Brittany has a couch, assuming she's not in custody by nightfall. He gathered his things, 2 suitcases and a box of his precious golf trophies, and loaded them into an Uber. Before getting in, he turned back one last time. I loved you, he said. No, I replied. You loved my money. You loved the lifestyle I provided. You loved having a wife who handled everything while you played at being successful. That's not love, Marcus. That's parasitism. So that's it. 8 years, and you're just throwing me out. You moved another woman into my grandmother's house, while I was on a business trip, working to pay for your life. Yeah, Marcus, that's it. The Uber drove away, and I stood on the porch of my beautiful Victorian, breathing in the sea air. Sandra put her hand on my shoulder. You okay? I'm fantastic. Want to see something funny? I pulled up Marcus's LinkedIn, which he'd updated that morning. Seasoned executive seeking new opportunities after successful exit from tech sector. Open to C-suite positions only. Sandra snorted. C-suite? He was a customer service manager. Assistant customer service manager, I corrected. But why let facts get in the way? The locksmith finished changing the locks, and I walked through my house, really seeing it for the first time in years. Without Marcus's clutter, his awful sports memorabilia, his general presence of mediocrity, it was stunning. In the master bedroom, I found a note from Brittany. "You're a cold bitch. Marcus deserves better." I kept it. Framed it, actually. It now hangs in my home office as a reminder that sometimes being a cold bitch is exactly what's called for. The divorce was finalized in record time. Marcus got nothing. No alimony, no property, no dignity. He moved back in with his mother in Fresno and, last I heard, was working at a call center and dating another 20-something who thinks he's totally going places. Brittany was arrested for check fraud and spent 6 months in jail. She now has a podcast about surviving narcissistic relationships, which is ironic on levels she'll never comprehend. Me. I kept my grandmother's house, my career, and my self-respect. I also kept the screenshot of Marcus's text telling me to pack my things. It's saved in a folder titled, "Remember Why You're Single and Happy." The house is worth $2.5 million now. I had it appraised last month, just for fun. Sometimes I stand on the porch, sipping wine and watching the sunset, thinking about how Marcus thought he could steal my life with a text message. The joke was on him from the moment he hit send. You can't steal something that was never yours to begin with. And Brittany, if you're reading this from whatever studio apartment you're crashing in, those pearls you wore? They were fake. I keep the real ones in a safety deposit box, along with the deed to MY house and a photo of your face when the debt collectors showed up. It's the little things in life, really. The little, petty, absolutely satisfying things. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video. Stay stunned.